Yeah, hello guys. So on this video, we're going to be talking about short-term highs and short-term lows. You understand? So hold on. Yeah, so short-term highs and short-term lows. Just as you all know, we have uptrend and downtrend, and based on what I've told you guys about uptrend and downtrend, it's just a situation whereby you see the markets going this way, creates like for an uptrend, see markets create high, low, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high, and so on and so forth. So just so you know, this retracement, this pullback, this retracement here before markets have this another impulsive move to the upside is actually a short-term low. This is 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 a short-term low. Just like I told you that before you enter a market, you have to wait for a valid retracement, or you spot your demand zone. So on this particular video, we were talking about short-term highs and lows, whereby you know the perfect way to trade a trending market, be it an uptrend or a downtrend. And also for a downtrend too, it's just a situation where I'll see price creates a high here, then low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and so on and so forth. And then all these retracements, all these retests, is what we call short-term highs. These are short-term highs, short-term highs, short-term highs, and so on and so forth. So there's a way you can actually trade the short-term highs. You can actually use it, or you can fully utilize it and add it to your trading game. So let's move into the live chart for more clearer illustration. This is just a simulated market price. So right here now, we are on the what chart is this? Okay, volatility 10 index. Yes. So currently we'll see price moving up, having series of higher highs, higher lows, 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 till it got to this point, and then it actually changed character, and then it's moving down. So you all know, we want to look for a trade entry, we want to look at what market is currently doing. So right here now, price is actually heading down, and then it came here. You start doing as if you want to start a new trend, you want to go up. This is the 24 hours chart. Let's mark this zone, move to the lower time frame. So this is the 24 hours chart. Let's mark all this short term. This is a short term high. As you can see, after price created this high, it went down and took out the high here. You understand? So I think we have another valid one here too. Yes, this is also a short term high, as small as it is. So we'll mark it too. And then okay, there's another one here. There's another one here. Short term highs. Then this one, another valid short-term highs again. So just like I told you all here, if market is trending, you know, if you want, before you start analyzing the market, you want to start from a much higher time frame. Then you just start reducing it. Let me say you can start from the 24 hours, then move to the 8 hours, to 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, till you get your confirmation entry on the lower time frame. You understand? So let's say you're viewing this particular market on a 4-hour time frame. So if a 4-hour time frame market is actually trending like this, giving you a series of highs and lows, high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, then you know when price does something like this now, created a new high, what are you expecting? You're expecting a retracement. So after this retracement now, you want to look for that perfect place that you could actually buy from before price is going to continue its movement to the upside again. So actually, all this low here on the lower time frame, this is a downtrend. If this should be a simulated live chart, and then this is a 4 hour time frame. Then on the 1 hour or 15 minutes, you'll notice that this is a downtrend. It's going to be showing you a downtrend movement based on the current price action. If you check your swing structure from the lower time frame, like 15 minutes, that's if this trend is to be on a 4 hour time frame, then you move to the lower time frame, like the 15-minute time frame, you will notice that the swing structure you're going to see is a downtrend. That's, I'm using this part as an example. You understand? So how you can actually fully utilize this short-term downtrend on the lower time frame, that's what I'll be talking about. So right here now, let's move to a much more lower time frame, because this is the 24 hours time frame we're watching this market from. Don't think my, can you hear me? Okay, yes. So let's move to a much lower time frame for more clarity. So let me just move to the 2 hour time frame. Let me move to the 2 hour time frame so that you will learn how to fully utilize a trending market and wait for that perfect retracement. Okay. So just like I said before you take a trade, like before you wait for a retracement, you want to ensure that price hits a valid POI, a valid point of interest, whereby you're going to have that much more higher confluence in that setup. So I'm going to tell you all how you can actually use the short-term highs and lows and look for a much more better POI. There are so many POI you can have. You can either see the fair value gap, the order block, breaker block, and you can also see the supply and demand zone, which is most active for this particular strategy when trading short-term highs and lows. So right here now, what do we have here? Let me clear this so you can see it clearly. So right here now, we saw price of obviously it's on a downtrend, and when price reached this point, it started creating higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, till it got to this point here. And then what do we see next? We saw a breakout. We saw a breakout, and then price boom, head down to this point here, pick out this previous low. So how you can fully utilize this is, now we started from the 24-hour time frame, we've moved lower to a much more lower time frame, like the 2-hour time frame. So right here now, we can see this market is actually trending. We are seeing another trend inside a trend, inside that your EVN, another EVN there inside. So inside that your trending market, there's another trending market inside again, and that's just what we saw here. So if you notice, this is actually a trending market, and then let me just draw my trend line from this point here. Okay, so this is the trend line, and for the rules of trend line, we know we expect price to always react after price hits the trend line. We expect price to always have some kind of impulsive move to push back up. That's for an uptrend. We expect price to push back up, like as you see, as price got to this trend here, it went up, came back, retest the trend, it went up. We expect price to still come back to this trend again and still move up again. But what do we see next? We saw price move down lower. So right here now, as you've seen something like this, we want to mark out our POI. So what you want to be looking for is either a valid POI that is close to your trending market, where price broke out from this trend. You understand? So as you can see now, this is where price broke out from this trend. And what do we have here? We have a fair value gap here. We have a fair value gap here. Let me just use this horizontal rate to mark it out. From this wick of this candle. No. From this wick of this candle here, you can see that imbalance. Let me just use the rectangle box to point it out for you guys more clearly. So we have a fair value gap here. Yes, we have a fair value gap here. That's one. Then after this fair value gap now, then what do we see next? We see this supply zone. We see this supply zone here because this is obviously the last bearish candle, the last bullish candle before price actually head lower. You understand? So now we want to take our POI from this point based on fair value gap is a valid POI, and this supply zone too is also a valid POI. So we want to take our entry from this candle, from this supply zone candle here, up to this fair value gap, just in case, so that price might not stop us out, because there might be a scenario whereby price is going to move above this supply zone and then tap into the fair value gap. So we've actually highlighted two major POI here. And then what do we want to do next? We want, this is also a POI, guys. This is also a POI. This is also a valid supply zone. I'm coming, let me draw this out first. This is also a valid supply zone. This one up here, this is actually a valid supply zone. For most of you that might ask, and what about this bullish candle we have up here? This is actually a valid supply zone too. But we want to take out the supply zone that breaks below this trend line, and this is it. This is it. The POI that breaks below this trend line, that's what we want to be paying attention to. You understand? So we have it right here. After we see that, we saw price came up here, retest into this POI, and then what do we have next? Boom, it went down. It went down, it started declining. So we can have our first entry here. We can have our first entry here at this point here. You can just set your limits, order at the, maybe, I think if we have set it at the, okay, no, hold on, guys. If we have set it at the 50% premium and discount level, we might be tapped in, but for a much more, to avoid you missing out on trade, you can just take your entry from the points, from the starting point of your point of interest, that from your premium and discount level. So right here now, we saw price tapped into it, and then your stop loss should just be above this fair value gap, which above the trend line, that's above the fair value gap and in between the trend line. You understand? So right here now, we have this very, very nice setup here, and then we're targeting this swing structure here. So after we've had this first setup here, we still have another, I think this is the second short-term highs actually highlighted. So let's see what the market have for us here too. So as you can see, we had this first setup here, and then price is actually heading down lower after it tapped into our point of interest. What do we have next here now? Let me remove this so we have more clear view of what's going on here. So right here too, we have another valid trending market. As you can see, you have another valid trending market that price broke out from. See, price broke out from here too. As you can see, price react from this starting point of this trend line. It went up here, react again, went all the way up to this point, tap into this PR, and then it came back here again. Then what do we see now? We saw price consolidate after the breakout. Price just slowly broke out from this point. We actually have, if you move to the 15-minute or the 10-minute time frame, you'll see that price actually broke out, retest from a lower time frame here, tapped into some kind of other block. I don't know the POI that price reacted from this point, and then it went down. But for this setup, we want to be very, very, very much more accurate. So what do we see next now? We saw price, after it went all the way down here, we saw price still came up here again. Price still came up here. And then what do we see here? Let me point this out for you guys. We saw this, I think there's a breaker block up here, because this high here have already been mitigated. You understand? As you can see now, price actually take out liquidity from this point. So this high now, there is nothing that price wants to come and react from, because it's either price we go above it or it's not going to come to this point. So the next POI that is valid is this breaker block. As you can see here, we have this breaker block here. Just like I told you, you might either see a fair value gap, other block, breaker block or supply and demand level. So this is actually a valid demand zone that is now turned into a supply zone based on price actually violated it. This is an order block, so it's now a breaker block. So we point it out here. And then what do we see next? As you can see, this is also outside of the trend line. Then what do we have here next? We saw price came into this POI and then giving us another second entry. Remember, this was our first entry. Price gave us another second entry short. Mind you, want to be trading with the direction of the market. If you remember, the initial direction of the market is a downtrend. So we want to only be looking for how we can fully utilize this downtrend market. So we just want to fully utilize any setup we see that is on the downtrend, that is in line with the higher time frame confluence. You understand? So right here now we have another setup again from this breaker block. Because if I saw that price actually going up here, I want to look for the next valid POI. So we still have price again. Give us another entry from this point here, which your stop loss should just be above your zone, and then your TP target, the previous low. Then okay, moving on. Because I think okay, let's move on. I don't think this is the third one I highlighted. Okay, I think we have a much more valid one here. So right here too, we also have price came all the way down to this point, and then it starts advancing to the upside. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then boom, we saw this breakout to the downside. So what do we have here? We want to draw out our trend. The first thing you want to draw out is the trend of the market. So you draw out your trend like this so that you can see the perfect place that price actually broke out from. So once we draw out our trend now what do we see below here? Hold on. So what do we see here now? We saw a valid supply zone below the trend, below the breakout of this trend. You understand? So right here now we saw this supply zone that price actually created before this impulsive move to the downside. So we want to point out this zone here. As you can see, price came into the zone and then boom, it went down. It went down, but it did not always hit our TP. So one thing you need to know is that markets will not always go your way. There is no 100% legitimate setup. You understand? In as much as every setup is back tested, is proven to be profitable, you want to make sure you try that setup in large sample sizes, not just one trade is just going to make you feel like, okay, this setup is not working, or just one trade is going to make you feel like, oh, this setup is working. Next time you see it, you want to like go full margin. Every setup is back tested and is actually proven to be profitable, but there's no such thing as 100% setup. But as you can see here, price actually reacted from this zone, but it did not head down to our target. What do we see next? After price, okay, now let me see if we had entered this particular setup now from this point. Let me say we use the 50% premium and discount level, and then our target normally is supposed to be this point here. Then stop loss right above. Stop loss right above this other block here. Okay, as you can see, because honestly I will not keep my stop loss even up to this point. My stop loss might just be here. I'm just being honest with you guys, and then price is just going to poke our stop loss here, and then it's going to head down. Even when price came up to this point, if we are still being on this trade, it's just going to be a 5RR. So this is a good setup. So one thing you also need to be doing is when market is going your way, you want to be like that's if for people that open more than one position, you want to be actually taking profits And then maybe if you're a trader that trail your stop, but I don't advise that because me is either take profit or stop loss. So by the way, that's it for that. And okay, we have another structure here. I think this is the last one I actually highlighted. So let's see what this one has for us. Okay, so how can I even draw the trend of this market? I'm even confused. Is this a trending market? Where does this trend even start from? Okay, I think the trend. Okay, let me just draw the trend from this point here. So right here now, right here we saw price actually obviously hit our stop loss here, and then it kept on going up. So we saw price broke out, take out the first. We saw price came to this point, gave us this higher low, failed to, and it had this impulsive move to the upside, but it failed to give us another higher high. So this is the first confirmation that okay, market is primed for reversal. So what do we see? We saw price came all the way down here. So now I want to look for the short-term trend that is around this market. So if you want to like move to a much more lower time frame, like the 1 hour or 30 minutes, I think we might see that the short-term trend based on the current swing structure would be this point here. Will be from this point here. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, so the swing structure will be here. Point, this is our point A. Okay, we're looking for sales. So these are point A, and then these are point C. These are we want to be targeting. So after we see that price actually failed to break out from this high, give us new higher high, then we saw price give us a new lower low. No, this is not our point because price actually broke out. I didn't see this. I didn't see this. Let me just say we want to target this point now. So let me say this should be our recent trend, most recent trend that price broke out from. Yes, this should be the most recent trend that price broke out from here, because price actually bounced from this point here. Price bounced from this point here, went up, then came to retest this trend here, and then it came up here, have this slight retracement to the upside before breaking down. So what do we have next here? So now I want to be looking for the point of interest, the valid POI that is below this trend as usual. So we have this supply zone here. So we take out our tool and then mark it, this 2 candle, because on the 1 hour time frame this is just 1 candle. So we mark it out, and then boom, we want to take our entry from this point here. 50% premium on discount level, target swing low, TP above the zone, just right here, and then we have a very good risk to reward ratio, which is just 1:10. Very nice setup, and then price smash TP. So if we are traded this setup here on this particular pair, as you can see, we have out of 4 setup we had here, 3 hit take profits, 1 smash stop loss. So this is a very good setup, and I think you guys will want to actually fully utilize it very, very well. So let me make this more clear for you. One thing you want, first thing first you need for this setup is number one, let me write this down for you guys, for those of you that don't used to take notes. Number one, you want to get your trend from the higher time frame. Identify from the higher time frame. Identify your trend from the higher time frame. That's number one rules for trading short-term and short-term highs and lows. Number one rules is identify your trend from the higher time frame. Then number two, how can I even move down? So I just have to continue like this. Okay. Number two now, first thing, this is number one, identify your trend from the higher time frame. Number two, move to the lower time frame. Number three. So number two, you want to move to the lower time frame and highlight your short-term highs or lows, depending on if the market is on an uptrend or a downtrend. Number three, based on you've actually highlighted your short-term highs and lows, the next thing you want to do is you want to wait for a perfect breakout of trend line. So number three, wait for breakouts. Wait for breakout of trend line. Then number four, after you wait for the breakout of the trend line, number four, you want to highlight your point of interest, your POI, below the trend line, below the break of the trend line, not above, not within the break, below the break of the trend line, because that's where market is most likely to retrace up to before moving downwards. Then after I've highlighted it, I think that's all for this setup. After I've highlighted your break, then you spot your POI, then just wait for price to come there. Let me just still add this for most of you that know it's here. Number five, always wait for your setup to play out. Wait for price to come to your POI and apply risk management. Apply risk management. Don't improvise. Don't improvise at all. Don't improvise. Wait. Just wait for this. That if you see that market is actually having this short-term highs and lows, market is trending. Hold on. So if you see that price is actually trending, first of all, what you want to do is identify your trend from the higher time frame. Secondly, move to the lower time frame and spot your short-term highs or lows, because that's where you want to be trading from. You don't want to be trading from the higher time frame, because that retracement, just like I said, if this is to be an uptrend on a 4-hour time frame, then on the lower time frame, like the 15 minutes, all these retracements, all this pullback is a downtrend. So you want to wait for a situation whereby price is going to break out from this downtrend and move to the upside. So that's the opportunity you want to be waiting for. So you use your trend line. I'm going to show you, maybe probably on the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to do this, how to use the same setup on an uptrend market, because this is a downtrend. This example I gave you is for a downtrend. So the next example is going to be for an uptrend. So thirdly, wait for breakout of the trend line. So the breakout you're waiting for is like this now. Hold on. Where did I draw those things? Where did I draw those things? Anyway, let me just draw another one. So wait for breakouts, just like I said here. Wait for breakouts. So if there's a 4-hour time frame, price is doing like this. So after this, after you see price creating series of lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, that's maybe on the 15-minute time frame, on the lower time frame, you want to wait for a situation whereby price might break out maybe from a trend like this. Now you want to see price break out from a trend like this, then you want to wait for price to come back to that point and test it before heading to the major direction. So that's probably it for this video. I'm sure you guys had something meaningful. You learned something meaningful from it. See you all in the next video.